I would like to invite our first speaker, who would be Christoph. He was born in Germany, but in 2013, he moved to Cyprus, and now he's managing a real estate business in the heart of Cyprus, specializing in unique buildings and markets, apartments in Moroni Hills. To start with, we would like to play a video of Mr. Christoph, and then Christoph will continue the presentation.
So also from me, very thank you for everybody participating now, and to the team of Bosco to organize everything. This is my first time. If I miss something out and questions are, don't hesitate after to drop your questions, and I hope I'm detailed enough. As mentioned before, I already went to Cyprus 2008, but I went into real estate 2013. So I'm in the 17th year in Cyprus, leaving Germany in 2004 already. And why did I start Moroni Hills? It's a little bit connected to my history. For me, Moroni Hills is more than an investment. It's kind of a lifestyle decision. And when I made this presentation, I said, how do you get this over? Because if you ever meet Cyprus and come here, please come here and you have to stand on Moroni Hills to see it and feel it. Why this is, I try to explain later. I want to make a little disclaimer. I put out my experience. We did residencies many times, but of course I have partners. Everything is specific on the case. So for me, it's important to understand. If you're interested later on, please reach out to our team, which I will tell later, so that they can check on your details and create the best possible outcome for you. And even if you don't take our advice, take legal advice before you make any investment decision. A little bit about me. I'm having several lives. In my first life, I was in the media industry. I studied at a film school in Munich. I have been 20 years up and down to all kinds of film festivals. Cannes Film Festival, and was in production and distribution, and at the end in gap financing, which is kind of giving the last money to a movie. So if anyone, it's talent placement. So if anyone wants to get into Hollywood movies, so that's what I did. I spent money into movies and placed talent. And when I dropped out, I came to Cyprus and then started to find out what should I do in Cyprus. And there is not much you can do than real estate business and holiday things, vacation stuff. And that was the basis how I grow my business. And I doing rentals for 13 years and have occupation rates from 80 to 90%, even in the winter. Even where I'm sitting now, this is a retreat. It's booked fully. And this is what I give on to my investors. And this is related to what I say. So, third life is now I'm a late father, privatier, and have 2 children, which is most fun. And I wish everybody to have that joy. So for me, important also to understand this, I made the title The Other Cyprus because being in the real estate, I know that there are a lot of fancy buildings, and that's all okay. And I don't want to judge this, but I just want to make clear that we are not interested. We are a community. So we want to have people here that live to a certain style. And so we don't want to have cheap and fast people. If you want a fast passport, we can also provide this, but this is Cyprus, not Cyprus is the right country. There's different roads to a fast passport, which I already did for other people. Reach out, we can do that. And the second thing, if you kind of walk the city nightlife type of guy, Maroni Hills is also nothing for you because it's really more for the people who want to settle and be still enjoy nightlife, because I will explain later more. But if you would like the guy jumping out of the building and being around a hood with busy, that's not for you. And we love people who grow with vision and like community, and we don't like naysayers. It's very important because one of the positive sides of Maroni Hills is that those who are already here, we have a really cool community. That brings me to the point for who is this location, you know? Of course, I know people are out there. We did this and we do it several times who want to residency in Europe. We can provide this through the project. Also aiming for a second passport. There are different ways I will explain later, you know? And here comes the point, one, privacy and discretion. It comes a little bit with I also working as a consultant in positioning for private owned companies. And I have a lot of people who have come from business and want to have discretion and privacy. And that's perfect when you want that. This is Maroni Hills in a nutshell. Still, they bring in themselves into community. We also enjoy nightlife, and that's the good thing. Maroni is in the middle. When you open the map of Cyprus, you have Larnaca, Limassol, and Nicosia. And Maroni is exactly in the middle. So in 20 minutes, you are wherever you want to be and having dinner or going to a party or something. But when you come back, you're in the middle of the nature and can enjoy this. You're searching for a unique place. The buildings we have around 8 developments with about 70 apartments in total. This is unique because it cannot be copied in the future because it's embedded in the old village towns of Cyprus, which are not very much. There's a handful villages towards the sea, like Pisuri and Maroni, but there are not a lot. And all the developers are like embedded into that kind of heart of these villages. And so from definition, it's unique and you cannot copy it. And once we finish this will be a very unique place. And we understand we have a lot of times people who say, yes, we want to support this, we want to be community, but I also want a clear exit strategy for the moment that I maybe claim the passport or I have to move on and I want to go with my family to a different place. I understand that and I will talk about this. So to get straight into it, in Cyprus, we have 3 passes to get to residency and then later passport. We have the typical residency by investment. I put all the links, and what I say, you can just look it in the internet. If you have more questions, I can later send you also the links. It's all on the government pages. It's no secret. It's 300,000 plus VAT. We have 19% VAT. You can buy a home and then have your residency with no string attached, or you make a company of foreign interest for 200,000 plus salary payment, and you can, this path is different because you can also invest in something different. I'm honest and say that a lot of real estate guys, you don't even bring this up, but you can also do something different. But when you do real estate, the good thing with this is you can invest, and there is no strings attached. Like, you can rent out, you can make a profit from it. And if you have a company of foreign interest and you have people, you want to bring a team beside you as a family, which have the right to get permits, you can bring them as well. If you pay them a minimum salary and social insurance, which open up a great window if you, for example, a businessman, businesswoman that want to expand to Europe and bring a whole team. Then there is the point, you can make it with or without VAT. I will explain you in detail why this is. Because, as I say, with a company of foreign interest, you can invest into shares of a company, then it will be without VAT. Or you buy directly the property. You say, I don't want to be involved in the company itself. I just want to take a property. Then you always have that. We also have deals where you have shares and we later change it into a property. But as soon as there is a transfer of property in your name, there is VAT attached, to be honest, and to be straightforward. Also here, I put the link. You can later look it all on, or you can Google it. Company of foreign interest is all documented. That brings me to the developments, and I will show you later, after the mathematic here, how this looks like and what we offer. So to give you an idea, what is the profit side of a rental business with shares, which we recommend, especially for people who want later an exit. I come to this later. We have like certain nights to rent. I just take it as an example now. Which I put down to 60% occupation. We have a higher occupation rate, but when we take an average income of 50 euros, we have a total income of the development I show later of 164,000. And that brings you down, if you put all from gross down with the property and everything, to an ROI of 8.21%, which then flows to your company in which you hold with a foreign interest. And to make the other numbers, if you say, no, I take the property, I take a plus VAT, of course, this push down the ROI to 6.99%. I also have to say, if we later in single discussions about what it is, these numbers are now percent-wise, because every apartment, of course, costs different price. So, but percentage-wise, it's exactly the same, and it will come out the same. And then that's what I want to say. The path to passport is, we have now in Cyprus the possibility to apply. I have to say, apply for the passport between 3.5 and 7 years. That's why I said before, it's nothing for people who want to claim a passport in a short term. There are other countries who offer passports by investment. If you need that at the moment, this is not the right way to go. But if you have the time, and there's also things attached, and we have to discuss it in detail on your specific person, you can get it. So what we offer here in this community, in this development, is that if you say you want one day later on exit, and we offer this on the share model, we say, okay, if after you claimed your passport, we are willing to buy back minus what we made profit for you. So you end up at the end with a resident, actually with a European passport, with just investing legal fees, which are not included here. You have that, I honestly have to say, of course, the process of the immigration and the passport and things and different things and costs. But if you make the numbers, you know that it's a very cool deal. if you see it in perspective. So saying that, to make quick the way how to contact us, we have a team in the background. We speak Arabic, French, and English. You can get us with WhatsApp over the Cyprus number, which is mentioned here, and we have also a Russian speaking hotline. It's funny, well, it's an American number, but it's also WhatsApp. When you're on the island, I just want to tell you, because I told you I also working with companies in positioning of companies to develop new products, new services, and then everything. So I do this since 25 years. I bring together people I don't know in my dinner of vision every month, every second Saturday. And if you're around and if you feel like you want to get more in contact with us, you're welcome every second Saturday. It's here in the retreat you see behind me. You cannot see because it's a presentation, but maybe I can show later. We have our own fine dining restaurant here in Maroni, and we do have this dinner, and it's always fantastic people, entrepreneurs from all over the world, and we have a nice exchange. And so the good thing is then you can also see and feel what it means to be at Maroni Hills. So that's from me, from the numbers, and then I go in as an example into the developments. Just to give you some pictures of Maroni Hills, this is really like Cyprus is or has been like the old. You know, you have that sandstone walls, it's like 60 to 70 centimeter thick, and normally these houses are built like stone down and clay bricks up, which give you a fantastic kind of sleeping atmosphere, which is phenomenal. And these houses were built where ACs didn't work, so they have quite good features already when they were when you wouldn't do anything. So in the winter, you can keep it warm very nicely, and in the summer it stays cooler than the new builds. Saying that, of course, we have new builds. I'm from Germany. We're building German quality buildings, means we have insulated, floor heating, everything. What you see is high end, and you can compare it to German building quality, and have nothing to do with a lot of times you have here with 25 centimeter walls that are just freezing in the winter, and you have to run the AC the whole summer. To give you an example, we have also brick kind of insulation and extra insulation and high insulated windows, where we run, when we run an AC, we run it on 25 degree on very high, so, and very low, and sometimes you don't even need it. So about the builds is, for example, I try to go there. In the picture you see now, you see on the left side, what we do is we buy plots with old buildings, and you see on the left side the thick walls. This is the part which is old, and you have to imagine the seaside to the right down. Here's the terrace is towards south to the east side, and it's the highest point of Maroni, so you have a stunning view from there. And then we built now these new things. Don't take this to written in stone. We have made this as studios and one bedrooms, because, as we say, we offer you this as an investment. So the highest ROI I can get with one bedrooms and studios, because we have an average 1 to 3 people coming to rent a room. We have rarely families, which I'm sad about, but it's the reality when we're talking about profit. This is what it is. But if you decide to buy, we can also combine several from these apartments. We just have to then talk about what is the expected ROI specifically on that property. And we can still move this all around, because we also here working with modern construction for its German patterns, means we have high span in concrete, so we don't have a lot of low-hanging beams in the construction. We can make spans up to 11, 12 meters without any column. So it's very, very high end. This is like a 3D from this. You see on the right side, this is the kind of old sandstone building. And the left side is the new build. What is a little difficult, but let me see if I find this. Here is it. we try to put this in landscape a little bit. When we made the 3D renders, it's always a little bit difficult to put them in the right perspective, because around these buildings in the old villages is one house to another. And the good thing is, from the building law, it's very intimate. So you cannot see in the house of the other, but it's all close to it. So when you make a render, as you see here, you can see this little apartment in the middle here down. It's between two buildings. So and where you see the windows is an inside square, which is very, very difficult to show. But we try to do this with this picture to give a little bit this village feeling. And yeah, this is what we offer. And you see, we already have sold also quite a few already. When you are interested, as I said, you can reach out. I give a forecast to the next build, which we have also. Again, here the pictures. This is what you walk. This is where you are. And imagine you're 20 minutes from the big cities. Doesn't matter if you want to go for dinner later out for Limassol and you want to do something, it's no problem. But you have that privacy and that nice landscape and around it. Just for the information, it's just to my person, this fine dining. We also have our own permaculture. We grow our own fruits, our own vegetables. This is a kind of different way of living than going to the supermarket to say, and you have that kind of quality around these areas. So this is a little bit now, again, streets from Maroni. And here we have another build. Again, you see all of these balconies have sea view. And again, you have this crazy shape, but you will see that there will be other buildings around, and they're all in sandstone and in these warm colors, and they're all high-end with insulation. So we have that's the reason why we can also make this high occupation rate in the winter, because people come especially to our retreats because they know they have it warm in the night. And this is something a little bit people maybe can adapt to know Italy or Spain or something. If you're in the Mediterranean, it's nice with the sun on the day, but this coziness is not there when you don't have an insulated house. And this is really high end with floor heating and everything around. So you can all this information you can download. And so let me get back to that where we have the data. So if you're interested, we can of course send you the details about the properties as a prospect to you, and reach out to my team. You can just send us a message and we send it out to you. And if you're in Cyprus or you in one of the events, especially of course after Dubai comes Cyprus, then I hope to see you there. And maybe hopefully we see you already in the construction of or in the finished apartment you like to take and start the path with us on your residency in Europe. Yeah, that's from me. I hope I covered it in a nice way. If you have any question or I left something out you didn't understand, please feel free. Write down your question. I will be here later on and I'm happy to answer all these questions.
Thank you again so much for your presentation, Christoph. Once again, we would like to repeat that we would send all the presentations after the event, so you would be able to find the contacts and the information about the projects. And I believe we have still quite some time, and we received a question in the group chat. So maybe you would like to answer it. And the question sounds like, is there any options that align with sustainability principles?
Say it again. I didn't understand.
Is there any options that align with sustainability principles?
With the buildings?
Yes.
You mean the way the buildings are done? Yes, yeah, very much. Very much. As you see, when we have these buildings, let me, do I still share my screen?
Yes, you still do.
So if you see, for example, this this old building here, what I said to you here on the right side on the top, this is the old building. What we do is we're using all the materials we find, and especially sometimes the woods are great. Sometimes these buildings are 150 years old. And for example, we take out the lintels, we take out the old beams, we check everything of that. And we reuse material as much as we can before we buy even something new. Of course, if it comes to the new build, there we're using clay bricks to have the same atmosphere in the rooms. Not of course we have to do some kind of concrete construction for the earthquake requirements, but we have the whole walls are with clay bricks, and to create the same environment like in the old buildings. And then what I can say about the environment, this is all, we have the full roofs with solar panel, and all the parking, the houses have full parking underground, and every car have its own EV charger for the cars. And we are also absolutely off-grid independent. We actually edged that feature recently because storage of electricity was quite expensive until 1 or 2 years ago, but it dropped so much that we now decided to have each apartment have its own 15 kilowatt power independence. So even if you have, so we're not depending on the grid totally. Only if the batteries are too low, we can switch to the grid, but we mainly think we can cover it totally from solar. Does that cover the question? If not, please ask again.
Yes, please put your questions in the group chat, because I see sometimes people raising the hands, and but we only read the questions from the group chat. And I think that we have another question. The most stretch from installment, let's say for 1+1, is how many months?
What do you mean with the installments? Do we talk now, this person, do you invest for residency or do you invest without residency? This is now very important, because let me answer first for those who apply for residency. If you invest money for residency, you have to, if let's say you make the model of the company of foreign interest, you have to bring 200,000 from outside into the country as a whole amount. You cannot make like partly payments or something. If you buy this as pure investment, we have our own financial partners. We can finance, but we have our own partners. We can finance for 3.5%, starting from around 40% down payment. That means, so if you, let's say 100 grand plus VAT, you have a little bit between 40-50 as a down payment, and then you pay installments on depending on the years and the interest later on. But once again, this is very important to understand. If you are a resident seeker, this is a requirement by law. You have to put the full amount on the table. Otherwise, it's not going to work. But for those who take it as a pure investment, no problem. We have our financial partners, and we can do that as well. Yeah.
Perfect. I think that was a very open answer. And I think when people were registering, we also got one question in regards of investment in the property, and it sounds like, how is the rental market in Cyprus performing at the moment? Is there a viable option for those looking to generate passive income, and is there any services that can help with rental?
Oh, okay, that's a good question that I forgot to say. The apartments are full managed, and that's what I say, that the ROI I told you is based on, of course, touristic rental. And yes, of course, this is making a profit. You also sending out the presentation, right? Or
yes.
Yes. So you can see that calculation. As I say, this was example calculation on a round amount. Of course, every apartment is a little bit different. If you reach out and you're interested in buying a property, we go through this in detail with you again, and you see exactly what you earned. For example, I can just say if people who are not for residency, who don't put it 100% down, and they put 40 to 50% down and make the rest, it's the self. It pays down itself. To be honest, you know. So of course it's an investment property for sure. Yeah. And I made the numbers, as you see, when you go back in the charts, I made it on 60% occupation, but we make about 80 to 90%. I do this 13 years, and it's because maybe I can switch off my presentation to show like the room behind me. We do like this high-end clients with you know, every room have a massage bed. We have we have this fine dining here. People call at night when they want something, they can get it. It's something with a very unique service around. So that's why the people come back, and we have a 30% rebooking percentage on rebooking from people coming back again and again to our places, you know.